Hello, YouTube. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend. This weekend, I'm not really doing anything, just relaxing. I sent my son out, um, and I was disappointed by the food. It's this Trini spot on Utica. I'm gonna be nice and I'm not gonna say their name, but their food was really good a few months ago, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I ordered the wrong thing or whatever, but I didn't even know it was barbecue chicken because my son went for me and I was like, what's that dark meat? I didn't know if it was jerk chicken or whatever, but just in general, Trini's, they season their food very well. I don't know what happened this time. Like the vegetable rice was vegetabling, I have to admit. Like it really, they went in with the vegetables, but it just tasted too planty. It tastes like straight plants. And then like, which is healthy, but I wish it was a little bit more seasoned. And then like the barbecue chicken tasted so normal. Like it wasn't enough seasoning. It wasn't. And then my son went to the cinnamon bun place, and I swear to God, like those of you that's been eating Cinnabon since '05, '07, like the first time I was introduced to it was from a friend from high school. And the Cinnabons from high school was the bomb. Like it really was good. And it was good right on up until I remember buying Cinnabons for Thanksgiving dinner in the school I worked at last year, and it was budding. It was good. And then like Cinnabons, I hadn't had it in a while, and the frosting tastes like something was missing out of it. Like they didn't put in milk or whatever. And I just wanted to make a PSA announcement. Like, fuck what you heard. Milk is good for you. Okay. It's funny how people want to eat McDonald's and all these unhealthy things, but then want to say, oh, cow milk is bad. Listen, we've been drinking cow milk for years. Baby boomers drink it, they came out fine. Millennials drink it, they came out fine. But who's not drinking it? The next generation, and you see how crazy they are. So they drinking 2%. What is that? 2% milk. And some of them still big. So obviously obesity has nothing to do with milk, because if that was the case, then a lot of these kids would not be obese right now. So, or people in general, you know, they want to eat like a pig with other things and then say no to milk. No, milk is good for you. You need milk. A lot of adults don't drink it or whatever, but you put milk in cake. Could you imagine if you're making a cake and you put 2% milk in it or almond milk? It's not going to taste right. It's not. You need the cow milk. All right? Bring back the cow milk. I have cow milk. I use it to... Now, I'm not going to lie. I used to have the almond milk, and I tossed it because with almond milk, when you put it with ice cream, it don't taste right. When you put it in cereal, it don't taste right. Let's keep it real. So I was drinking almond milk for years, and then I stopped. I'm like, yo, it don't taste right with regular stuff like cereal, ice cream, or anything. It doesn't taste right with anything. Then I switched to almond milk banana. Same thing. You cannot put that in cereal. It's not going to taste right. So I went right back to cow milk because it don't taste right with cereal. It don't taste right with ice cream, cake, anything you put it with. Almond milk do not taste right. So cow milk, I went back. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Bring back the cow milk. They really need to. It's ridiculous. But today I wanted to talk about, first of all, yesterday I was watching Story Times, and that's my favorite thing to watch on YouTube. I love YouTube. Like, I remember before I got the TV, I told you I didn't have TV for years in my house, and then I got it as a gift in 2020, and I was happy with my YouTube, watching it on my phone. And yeah, and it's just funny because people who had TV and cable, they thought I was weird, but look at the world we live in now. Don't nobody really watch their TV. Like, most people will tell you they looking at their phone or their tablet. They're not really sitting there and watching TV, right? Very few people sit there and watch TV. They're watching their phones or what, or whatever. So, yeah, about that. So I was watching a story time about a person, a makeup artist. She does makeup, and I felt so sorry for her. She said she had the worst client ever. The experience was so bad, she was gonna not do makeup no more because of this. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy. So the client came 3 hours late. She was supposed to come at 7:30. Bitch came at 10:30. First of all, if it was me and I wanted to send a message to both stylists, this is going to be a 2-part video, and I'm talking to everybody, because somebody needs to start the trend with it. It's just sad people say they don't support black business, but sometimes it be the client. Sometimes it be these clients that's disrespectful, and I did not know. Yeah, so this story stuck out to me, and I wanted to talk about it because for a long time I couldn't understand why so many people was going through what they was going through. And I can honestly say I don't really have any bad hairstyling stories. I have like one, I just never went back to her again. And I'm gonna compare, right? And what is my objective with this video is that black women can come together, and there could be just some type of mediation. And I did a video about nail techs and hair salon people before, but this one is to really mediate. This one is to really talk about the problem at hand, and what can we as black women, what can we do when it comes to business? Because all we have is each other. Like, let's keep it real. Most black men are not investing in small businesses. They're not. Most black businesses are owned by women, right? Even the coffee shops and stuff like that, it's a black woman behind it. And a lot of black men do not support that for obvious reasons. This is a disconnect. We cannot depend on our men. Some of us cannot depend on our fathers. Some of us cannot depend on our children's fathers. We just can't depend on these men. All we have is each other, right? So we have to come together and we have to back each other up. Sadly, that's just what it is. So this story that I wanted to talk about was, she was a makeup artist. Keep in mind, she was 3 hours late to her appointment. She kept calling her saying, can you push it to this time, that time? So her time, the original time was 7:30. She's like, can you push it to 8? Can you push it to 8:30? Can you push it to 9? Finally, she comes at 10:30. Now, right then and there, you as a stylist, I don't care if you do lashes, makeup, whatever, you have to put your foot down and say, one thing about human nature, and this is a lot of people, if you ever give anybody any leverage, they're gonna take it. Unfortunately, you have to show some type of strictness for most people. Like for me, for example, you don't have to do all of that. I respect people's time, but there's very few people in the world like me. You know what I'm saying? Just like with teachers or professors. For some people, if you make the class too easy, like for me, I love an easy class. Like all the classes I got an A in is because the class was easy, right? You have some people that they like a challenge. They like, they like a challenge, and they, they like a challenge, and if a class too easy, they gonna fail. No, if a class is easy, I'm gonna get that A. And that's how I am with life too. Like, I like when stuff is easy. I appreciate it. I don't like somebody that's on my case or on my back. That's just me, right? So, with this scenario, the stylist was very easygoing, too easygoing, because she let her back up all the way to 10:30. What if she wanted to go home early and just relax? What if she just, you know what I'm saying? Like, people's time is whatever. And she did her lashes. I mean, she did her makeup. She did what she did. And then the girl was like trying to get the money from the boyfriend because she was getting her makeup done for a boyfriend's birthday party, right? So she was calling him. He wasn't answering at first because he at his party, like he mingling, he whatever. So she had to call a bunch of different people to get the money. She finally gets the money. The makeup artist was like, she was not gonna let her leave without her getting her money, which I don't blame her, but she waited all the way until 1 in the morning. That's too much. Like, that's crazy to have to wait for her to call people. What if she would have never got the money? Then you just would have been in the shop all night for what? Like, me personally, my personality, I made a 7:30 appointment with you. I would have told her straight up, if you're not here at 8, then I have to cancel you. I'm closed. Peace. Like, no, I'm not waiting for you 9, 10. No, we're not doing that because, no. What if she would have never showed up? You know, because people will do that. People will do that. They'll be like, oh, I'm on my way. They not on their way. They in the house sleep. Right? So imagine that. Like, no, you have to set a standard. And that's what she said she learned from that experience. Like, she don't do same day appointments. She don't do none of that. Like, this lady was last minute, same day appointment, whatever. And it's like, on the client side, right? Why would you make an appointment and then not show up till 10:30? She tells the makeup artist that she had to find a babysitter because the person that was supposed to watch her kids bailed out last minute. It happens. It totally happens. But with the stylist, the artist, the makeup artist, she she was yelling at her, taking her frustrations out on her. And it was just a hot mess. Like, she was just, And then the next morning, the lady took back her money. Now, for me, I think she should have called her to tell her, because it wasn't her who paid. Somebody else paid. So they probably disputed it. She was like, oh, she disputed it and whatever. But if it wasn't her who paid, it probably wasn't her who disputed it. It's somebody else who probably disputed it. So, But yeah, that was the worst story that I heard or whatever. And then another story I heard, it didn't sound so bad, but the lady was like how she did the girl's nails and the girl left. But she sent the money, but she sent it late. But she didn't let her book again. And I'm like, well, at least you got your money, but she didn't let her book again or whatever. Now, this story stuck out to me because I'm like, yo, this was fucked up. So, this particular girl, she was going to get locks. And so, the hairstyle was $225, which is, to me, that's not bad. That's like a really good price for locks. So, she had to put a deposit down for $125, which is weird because that's like half the price. So she paid it or whatever. This story is fucked up. So, so she pays the deposit or whatever, and she gets there, and the person is like, oh, I totally forgot. What? How you forgot? Now, mind you, the stylist made the appointment. Like, first red flag is she was supposed to get her hair done the day before, and the stylist texted her and was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cancel. I have allergies. Da 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 da. Right? So, to all my customers out there, right? If somebody cancels on you, do not book with them again, because that's basically telling you they do not want to do your hair, right? So this lady, instead of being honest and saying, listen, and she told her, she gave her a hint. She said, listen, you're gonna have to come in at 9 in the morning. No, she told her 8 in the morning. She said, you're gonna have to come 8 in the morning because it takes me 8 hours to do it. And once I'm done with your hair, I'm not doing nobody else's hair after that. Or whatever. So, which makes sense because that's a lot of work, you know. But there's a victory at the end of this story. And I was so proud of this girl. But, so she told her straight up, you know, how she feels about locks and stuff. To me, that would have been a red flag because I would have been like, why are you telling me that? Like, I actually would have said it to her, like, why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me this? And I wouldn't have booked with her because she's trying to tell you she don't like doing locks. Because why would she do that? Oh, you're going to have to come in at this time. And when I'm done with you, I'm not doing no more clients. You're going to be my only client for that day. Why are you telling me this? I would have said it just like that. Like, why are you telling me? That has nothing to do with me. And I would not have booked with her because right there, the energy you giving off is you don't want to do locks. That's what it's giving, right? So she cancels on her, and then she finds out that the same day she canceled with her client, this client, she was doing other people's hair. So she lied to her, and she knew she lied to her, but she still booked with her. And it's like, as a customer, cannot do that. If somebody cancels on you, they don't want to do your hair. Especially if they say something stupid like allergies. Like, she act like she got the flu. Sorry, y'all. Yes, I live in housing, so like, I don't know if y'all heard the gurgling noises from my sink. It was just really loud, so I didn't want y'all to hear that. But if you live in NYCHA, you know. If you know, you know. But yeah, so the girl, she saw her straight up. She was like, you gonna be my only client for the day, and da 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 da. So she lied to her and was like, oh, I got allergies. First of all, we all get allergies. We not gonna cancel work for allergies. Like, me personally, I do take off. If I'm sick, I do take off because I work with children, and I would never want to get anybody's child sick. If you work with adults, it's okay. Our immune system is not as weak as a child, right? So I don't understand why you would cancel. That right there was suspect because I don't know anybody, even people I work with, they come to work and they sneeze and coughing and they go about their day. Me personally, no, because I would never want that on my conscience that I got somebody child sick. So yes, I will take a sick day because I don't want to get nobody child sick. That's just me. But most people, they still gonna come to work and cheat, chew, all of that all day and still come to work. And you do hair, you're behind the person. So it's not like you're facing the person. Like, when you're teaching, obviously you in the student face. Not like this. But you know what I mean. You have to face the student. So, and I'm an assistant teacher, so I have to face my student too. And when you're an assistant teacher, when you're a para, teachers walk around. So they have a chance. When you're a para, you have to sit down next to your student. It's like you one of the students, but you're basically tutoring. You're helping out that student, right? You really can't be around kids when you sick because you one of them, basically. You sitting down with them. Teachers, they walk around. Paras, we sit down, right? So, yeah, so, but people still come to work, nevertheless. So as a hairstylist, why would you be calling out? Like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you be calling out? So that was bullshit because she found out that this lady was still doing hair that day. She just didn't want to do her hair, and she still booked with her. So for me, I'm not going to book with you because you obviously don't want to do my hair, and that's fine. So she books with her again, and she gets there, and the shop is totally closed, and the bitch have a nerve to say, I totally forgot. You can come in later on today. She was like, no, she was livid at that point. It's like, what? I woke up out of bed, drove over here and you're not even here. It wasn't even a place in her neighborhood. She went outside of her neighborhood to find a stylist, and it was messed up, that she did that. And so she ended up, because I think she had a birthday or event or something, so she was pressed for time. The girl ended up doing her own hair, and it came out really, really nice. So I like that part of the story. Like, she was like, yo, I didn't even have time to book somebody else. She was like, it was like a Sunday or something, so she was like, how I'm gonna find a stylist last minute like that, so she bought the hair. She went to the beauty supply store, bought the hair. She looked on TikTok, she said, and she did her hair herself, and it came out really good. And she said after that experience, she doesn't go to salons anymore, and she does her hair herself, and it looks really nice. That's so inspiring. But I don't have the muscle strength. Like, I remember doing my own hair over the summer in the pandemic. I think it was, what was it? Was it 2020? No, it was 2021. Yeah, and I remember doing my hair and my arms were hurting. Like, I'm like, doing hair is not for the weak. It's really not. So, yeah, but it's hard to do your own hair. So I commend her. But there has to be a medium between the client and the customer. It's clients with complaints too, but I feel like when customers act up, it's because they get so used to bum ass service, so then they start acting like bums. Like the girl who was 3 hours late, she's probably used to people, because I've heard many of black women say they made appointments and the stylist was 2 and 3 hours late, and they had no choice but to wait because they needed their hair done. And it's kind of hard to like find somebody else, especially when it's like weave, braids and stuff like that. Wash and set, anybody could do it, but when it comes to like braids and wash and set, you don't want to just go to anybody because you don't know if they could do it as good as the person that you're used to. And that's what I'm going through too. Like, I finally found a good hair braider. Now to my story. Yes. I don't really have any bad stories other than so I'm gonna admit it. So when I was in high school, my friends used to do my hair, right? I didn't start going to people to get my braids done. Like, I always went to the salon to get a wash and set. But when it came to braids, my friends used to do it. And then once I became an adult, then it was a stylist, right? But they was American. One lady was West Indian. I didn't start going. I'm going to tell you why I never went to Africans originally. Because everybody I knew who went to Africans, their hair was that short. Like, very short. Their hair didn't grow. So I thought it was because of that. I thought it was because I thought Africans fuck up people here, right? So I never was drawn to go to them. I'm gonna tell you what made me go to them. So it was this lady. I don't even know if she's still there because it looked like they changed the whole shop. The shop is still there, but it looked like it's under new management or something. So there was a lady there, and she was very talented. Like, she did my hair so good, y'all, that when I went to work, everybody was asking, the tenant, everybody that I worked with was asking me, what's the name of your stylist? Where is her salon? I gotta make an appointment. Like, I never got so many appointments in my life. I never got so many compliments about my hair in my life. They were very impressed, and she did a very good job both times I went. And so I was going to keep going to her because she was nice, the price was good, and she did hair very, very well. Extremely well. Like, this girl was very talented. And so I made an appointment with her for 9 a.m. and she never showed up. And I'll never forget it because her coworker was hating, saying we don't do appointments. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all are stylists. What are you talking about? You don't do appointments. Everybody do appointments, unless if it's, what are you, Dominican? Like, the Dominicans, they don't take appointments. It's just walk in because they not doing nothing but washing sets. But when you're braiding hair, when you're doing hair and it exceeds 2 and 3 hours, of course you have to make an appointment or whatever. She's like, oh, we don't make appointments. That's not an appointment. I said, what are you talking about? Me and your coworker both agreed to be here for 9 a.m. Where is she? And I could tell that she was jealous of my stylist or whatever. And it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, why is she jealous? Like, oh, well, da-da-da-da-da. What you supposed to do as her coworker, like, oh, let me call her. Just sit tight. Don't leave. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even care that I left. It's like, I didn't do anything to you. I'm here for your, because I didn't know her, so I didn't want to go to her. And then the energy, she was giving off very negative energy. So I'm not going to let you touch my head because you're jealous of your coworker. Like, no. So 9:30 rolls around. So at this point, I'm like, I want to get my hair done. Like, at this point, I'm like, whatever. And she still didn't show up. So I left and went to the Africans across the street. And I was going to them from 2015 all the way to 2020. And it was cool because the lady that was in there, our sons went to school together. They always gave discounted prices, very nice to me. They had TV, they smelled good. You know, they used to wash and condition their hair. They was really good, and they did not survive the pandemic, and I was just so livid and so sad. And I spent 2 years looking for a good stylist. There's one across the street from me. They stink and they got stink attitudes. I went to them a couple of times, but nah. And then and then it was another one. It's a few of them I went to. Then like for my graduation, you know, or whatever. My graduation, I went to some lady, but she was weird. Like her energy was weird, and she was controlling. Like she was the type of stylist that you got to get the hair that she tell you or else. And I'm like, no. And then I see everybody else with false locks and it stayed. But the way she did it, the beginning of the hair, it was like real loose. So she ain't know what she was doing. And the lady I go to now, she's like, yeah, she ain't know what she was doing. Like the next time, you know, I have a good stylist now. So, but yeah, it took me a while. The stylist I have now, I finally decided to go back to another place I went to years ago. I went there like one time. I said, let me check them out, whatever. Because I went to a few places to try to find the right braider. It takes a while, to find that right braider. It took me 2 years to find the braider I have now. So, yeah. So, because I didn't want to go outside my neighborhood. There's so many places over here. I live in Brownsville, Brooklyn, and it's like a whole city full of braiders. It's a lot of them, but it's hard to find the one that I wanted. So, you know, the only thing with my current hair braider, I have to wash my hair before I get to her. I don't mind, and then she blow dries it for me, and then she does really good work so far. And I don't really get my hair braided often because braids all the time is not good. So I got this in September. I'm gonna take it out Thanksgiving, and then I'm gonna get braids again. But I braid, wash and set. I go back and forth. So yeah. But that turned me off with the whole, and she did hair very well, but she didn't she wasn't answering my text. I think, yeah, I did have her number. She wasn't responding. And I'm a type of person, I'm not going to chase you. So I wasn't going to call her. I text her, no response, and she never showed up. So that's how I ended up going to Africans. So, yeah, that just really turned me off. And some people, they were booked again. But no, you got one time with me. And at the time, how old was I? I was young. I was 26. No, you're not going to do that, because if I let you do it the first time, you're going to do it again, and you're going to feel like it's okay. So there's no way that I was going to book with her again. And then her coworker, crazy jealous of her, so I wasn't going to let her coworker touch my head with that attitude. Like, no. So yeah, it's just a shame that as black women collectively, we can't come together to a medium. And that's my wish, that, you know, everything will go back to the 90s. Like in the 90s, they used to wash and treat your hair. I used to go to West Indians before the Dominicans took over, and they would wash and treat your hair, press it. It was nice, and it was nice to see black-owned salons. Now, it's African salons, and if you do see an American salon, they sharing the space with the Chinese, or you have them, but it's like hard to find, and that's a shame. You know, that's a shame. I remember before I moved to Brownsville, I went to Brownsville. I don't know who put me onto them, but I went to Brownsville to get my hair braided. It's before I moved to Brownsville. And it was two stylists, very talented, and they were sharing a space with the nail salon. And then one day they wasn't there no more. They went their separate ways. And I remember telling them, I was like, 10 years they worked together. I was like, y'all could have stacked up money to get y'all own salon. Like, why would you, that's just weird. Now y'all gotta go y'all separate ways, and that's messed up. Just like with my current braider, I called her just in time, because the space where they was at, they was there for years. But then what happened was, within a few months, that space became for rent, and they had to go their separate ways. And I had to look for her. I found her coworker. But even though her coworker was hating on her, she still gave me her contact. I was like, well, what happened to... No, I think I had her contact already, but I was looking for her. She's like, oh, she's over there, whatever. Yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah, so the girl, she never showed up, so I started going to the Africans, and they were good. They had a TV, they smelled good, like good conversation. Like, I really miss them. I really do, because they knew how to. They were the only Africans I knew that knew how to wash and condition and blow dry your hair. See, these people, like the girl I go to now, she know how to blow dry, but she don't know how to wash and condition. She never even attempted it. I have to do that before I come to her. But these people that I used to go to, and it's a shame that they didn't survive the pandemic. It's a shame, They shut down, and now it's a retail store. But they were really good. They would wash and condition your hair. They would treat your hair. They would blow dry it. They had a TV with American shows. Because a lot of these Africans, they make you... That's one thing I didn't like about when I was getting my hair done for graduation and before. They have on these African shits. We don't want to watch that. Like, you think I'm in your seat for 5-6 hours. You think I want to watch African movies all day? No. Turn on The View. Turn on something American. Like, And even the other lady that was waiting, she was complaining too. She's like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, the movie don't even make sense. They just want to be American so bad, and then half of the shits don't even make sense. It don't. The only ones that make sense is the ones that come on Netflix. They got African movies on Netflix. Those are good. But them other shits is like... And then the movies be like, they not normal, like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Them shits be like 4 or 5 hour movies. What the fuck are y'all talking about? So, and then like the lady, I stopped coming to her, and she saw that, she starts chasing me down the street. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not coming back to you no more. That's it. Her attitude was weird. she like was trying to be bossy and tell me what type of hair to get or whatever. No, you just don't know how to do hair. Just admit it and say, I don't know how to do it that way, right? Don't tell me. She made me so tight. I had hair already. I had hair. And then she's like, that's the wrong hair. So I go to the beauty supply store, like buy more hair. And then when she did it the second time, I said, Miss, this is the hair that I want, and this is the hair you're going to use. I'm not going back to the supply store to get hair, and I'm wasting money. Like, what are you doing? That's so annoying to me. Like, you're a stylist. You should have, if I have the wrong hair, you should have hair in your shop, period. Then you want to get mad when you don't get a tip. Well, there's your tip money because I had to get extra hair. And I swear to God, I've been getting my hair done for years now. The first time I got box braids and a friend didn't do it was 2011. This is 20, so this is 11 years of getting my hair braided. I kid you not, it wasn't until last year that some of these stylists, they don't have hair. Like, they always had hair because they know that, so all of a sudden now it's like you got to bring your own hair. But if it's not the hair that they want, you got to spend extra $10 or sometimes $20 because that's not the hair. The hair that you get is not good enough. They want you to spend more money and then want to get mad when they don't get no tip. Like, fuck you. This is the hair that I have, and this is the hair you're going to use. Okay? Like, what the fuck you mean? I don't even get my hair braided that often. I literally get my hair braided maybe 3 or 4 times a year, if that much, because it's expensive, number one, and number two, it's time consuming. Like, I don't like being in nobody's chair for more than 2 hours. I just don't like it. I don't have the patience. I don't, no. Like, this took 5 hours, and she braids fast. That's why, another reason why I go to her. She's very nice, very, very nice. She has a positive energy, and that's important to me. And she's just cool to talk to, that's key to me. Because you could be talented, but if we not vibing, or if I feel any type of negative vibes, I'm not coming to you, because that's going to go into my hair, and I have to take that home. I'm very sensitive to vibrations and vibes, very sensitive to that. So anything that's going on my head, and you're going on my head, you need to be a positive person, period. You need to treat me right, talk to me right, because this is my body. It's just like, people don't realize it. It's just like going to the doctor. If you was going to the doctor, right, and you get there and he not there, would you book with him again? Would you make another appointment with him? Probably not, because that's unprofessional. So you got to treat your hair like it's a part of your body, because it is, ladies. So yeah, I don't really have a bunch of crazy stories. I know people who've had crazy stories. One of my friends, I remember, told me that she was going to Haitian. She's Haitian, and the rumor is they don't know how to do hair. But she said how she was getting a perm, and everybody knows that I never had a perm, but I know that it's not supposed to burn you. So she said it was burning her, and the lady was like, oh, it's supposed to burn a little. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not supposed to burn. No, that means it's in there too long. But, stuff like that. That's, and I'm sure her hair fell out, whatever. Those are horror stories. Luckily, I don't have none of that. So. But yeah, just as a client, be careful with who you book with. Be careful to the red flags and the signs. If someone lies and says, even if they not lying, they cancel, book with someone else, because, yeah, 9 times out of 10, they probably just don't want to do your hair. Now, things do happen. My opinion is, if you've been with this person for years and then they cancel on you, that's a little different, because maybe they do have an emergency or whatever. Don't give up on them. But for this to be your first appointment with them, like with the girl, that was her first appointment with her, and she cancels. And then what happens when she rebooks? She's not even at the shop. She gonna talk about something I totally forgot. So she didn't even touch her head. And then the lady didn't even give her back her money. So that's basically, she's scamming. Like, that's probably something that she does on a regular. Take people's $125 and just don't show up. You know, or she probably just don't do locks. And it's like, you know what? I'ma just take their money. Which is fucked up, but that's what she did. She never got her money back. And wait, I gotta watch it again, because I can't believe she really didn't get her money back. Like, that's OD. But yeah, we gotta do better, black women. And those are my thoughts.